Welcome back to Switched to Linux. So we have a very special episode here today, a little bit different than what I frequently do, sort of, I guess. But I have been embroiled in an issue and problem with Comcast for the better part of 6 months. Actually, I think 7 or 8 or so months. And I'm going to talk about this issue a little bit. I'm going to talk about what I think is going on, and then I have recorded about approximately a 15-minute phone conversation with a customer support agent over there at Comcast. So the short version, of course, with Comcast is they were trying to push out their own, open, wide-scale network, and so what they were doing is changing around a lot of things and then really upselling their own modems to the customers. And then what the modems would do is, on top of having your own internet that would be in your house, it also broadcasts a Comcast wireless system. And frankly, I think this is the stupidest thing there is, because, if you're in a residential neighborhood, you do not need this. Okay. You might possibly see something that this is useful in a downtown or in a retail district, but not really for this. But what ends up happening is, where I'm at here in this apartment complex, I can pick up about 15 or so of these Comcast networks that are all these open source Comcast things. It's literally just polluting the whole wave here with all sorts of wireless waves that are really unnecessary, because I think every person here has Comcast, and I think only 3 of us own our own modems. And that means that the rest of us are paying Comcast $10 a month. Oh, wait, hold on. All of us might be paying Comcast $10 a month. Because what I've been fighting with for quite a long time now is, every 2 or 3 months, Comcast keeps on attempting to add $10 to my bill for modem rental. I have a DOC 2.0 Motorola surfboard that I bought in 2005. That's what's on my system, on my internet. And the funny thing is, you need to report your MAC address. Like, they should be able to tell from the MAC address alone of my modem that this is my own modem. And I have called them no less than 4 or 5 times on this matter alone. I have had multiple other issues. The curious thing, now I keep very good records, and the curious thing is that some of these letters I received are not even dated. You will hear on the call that she told me when these letters were sent out. Well, at least approximately when the letters were sent out. And so you'll see some handwritten dates on 2 of these. We're going to look at this real quick. So this is the letter. I received this same letter 3 times. Now, of course, I blocked out my address up there. You can see this is one of the ones without the date. So this is the handwritten date that corresponds to when this extra $10 fee was added to the account. The actual letter probably came out a week or so later. And I can kind of remember that. Now, this is my 2016 bills binder. You'll see the next one came in March. And the reason that ended up being in here is I never cleared out my binder here. I have a big binder. It's a little out of camera, but I have a big binder here that stores all my bills throughout the year. End of the year, around tax time, I clear it out. That usually happens somewhere between January and March whenever I do my taxes. This year, that happened to be March. So the second one got added to this because there was no date. All of these letters, and I do have a third one that was sent to me. This one is actually dated April 28th. They're all the same exact letter. So let's have a look at what this says. So we've made a mistake. We haven't been charging you for your Xfinity modem rental, which is $10 per month. Well, no, I don't rent a modem from you. We wanted to let you know in advance that your bill will be increasing, but we won't start charging you for the modem rental until your next billing statement. Rest assured, you won't be retroactively charged for past months. Well, that's a good thing, that I will not be retroactively charged $10 a month for the modem that I bought in 2005. It is 2017 at the recording of this, and so that is, 12 years? Okay. We know that any changes to your bill is frustrating, and we're sorry for this oversight. If you have any questions, please call us anytime at 1-800-COMCAST. And what I actually found is that they can't really help you other than crediting your account. You will hear them talk about that on the call. We want you to know that it is our number one priority to improve your customer experience. To learn more about what we're doing, please visit xfinity.com/experience. No, they are disproving my customer experience by every month or so adding this to my bill. I have a visitor. The cat decided he wanted to come up. All right. So, let's see. Thanks for being an Xfinity customer, as if I have a choice. And of course, there's extra stuff on there. Note, prices doesn't include additional taxes and fees. That's exciting. So I received that letter in November. I promptly called them, and I think they got it removed at that point in time. I received another one in March. Same exact letter, you'll see. And then I received another one in April. Same exact letter, you'll see. At least they changed this format around a little bit. So I received that letter. Now, the biggest problem with all this is that they will not go back and reissue the bill that is corrected. So I have this incorrect bill. Now, the problem with the incorrect bill is I call them up. They were supposed to have credited the account, but it still didn't get added right. And what I did is I recorded the phone call with my recorder here, and I'm going to play you back the call. Now, in my state where I'm recording this, we have two-party consent, so this is a legally recorded phone call. Yes, Kitty. This is a legally recorded phone call. I did keep that on the very beginning, so you can hear me say to the agent that I am recording, and you can hear her reply that she says that is fine. And so what we are going to do is I'm going to walk through the recording, and then we'll come up here and wrap up. And I will, before we jump into the call, I will let you know that right about 13, 14 months ago, Comcast was hit with a very large fine from the FCC because they were adding extra fees to people's bills. They were adding equipment people didn't order, and they were adding equipment that people flat out refused. And so we're going to listen to the phone call now, and then I'm going to come up and wrap up with some comments.
Call may be monitored or recorded. Thank you for calling Comcast. This is how can I help you today?
Hi, I'm recording this call, okay?
I'm sorry?
I said I'm recording this call, okay?
That's fine.
Okay. I have received my bill today, and you guys are still charging me for $10 for equipment rental fee that I do not rent. You also did not properly credit last month's for, again, the same thing properly. So I need to get this straightened out, and I mean, I've received in the last, just in the last 6 months, 3 individual notices. 2 of them are not dated. One of them is dated April 28th to say, we made a mistake, we haven't been charging you for your modem rental. I have owned this modem since 2005, and I need to make sure that this stops. So right now it appears that my bill is $11.20 higher than it needs to be.
Okay, let me open up the account.
Thank you.
Can I have your name?
Name is Tom Morosky, M-U-R-O-S-K-Y.
And the address, Mr. Morosky? Okay, give me 1 second. I'll look over these notes, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, so they did credit you back for last month?
They credited back $10. They did not credit back the tax. So they should have credited $10.60. Only credited $10. Do you see that? Because when you bill the $10, it shouldn't have been billed. That adds 60 cents in tax. So they credited $10. They'd never credited the 60 cents. So what I need right now is a credit of $11.20 to bring it back to where it's supposed to be. But I do have questions on the bill even other than that. Do you see what I'm talking about there?
Yeah, I know that there's 60 cents in sales tax for the internet. I know that.
All right. So, according to the bill, are you ready for me to tell you what I think seems incorrect still?
I'm sorry?
Are you ready for me to tell you what I think seems incorrect still?
The modem, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, outside that, when I received the bill today, it says the previous balance was $55.59. It should have been cut down to $44.99. I think that the problem is because you guys can't reissue a new bill that's corrected. When the check came in, it came in saying that $55.59 was due, but really only $44.99 was due. And this is why I really think it's imperative I get an updated, corrected copy of the bill. Why is that not possible?
We only send one bill out a month.
Yeah, but it's wrong. The problem is it's wrong, right? Do you agree that this is wrong?
What's wrong?
Well, what's wrong is the fact that it says the previous balance was $55.59. You guys added $10.60. It was inappropriate. I alerted you to the fact that it was inappropriate last month, and you've never sent back the new bill. So I think that what happened is when I sent to the check, which had the pay stub, which said $55.59, but I only sent $44.99. Your guys, it looks like they changed the balance back because it says my previous balance was $55.59 at the top of this bill. My previous balance should have only been $44.99.
$10 that's going forward, being forward, right?
I'm sorry, say that again?
There's $10 that's being forwarded to the next bill?
Yeah, why should that be on there, though? Because it's supposed to have been credited. So when this bill was issued out, that should have already been cut down to $44.99 when I sent in the check.
And honestly, it should have been like the balance that you have right now for May's bill.
Yeah.
It should be $44.99.
Yeah.
But because we still have that modem on there, which I'll credit back to you, that's why the bill is still $56.19 because they didn't take off the rented modem. They didn't take off the own modem. They kept it as a rented modem.
Yeah, but here's my point: is that this bill is incorrect. So if I send you this little stub with the payment that says $56.19 is due, and I write you a check for $44.99, who's to say I'm not going to have the same problem happen again? That's why I really want an updated, corrected bill, because I really need these correct for my records. I don't want to send you something that's contrary to what the records say. You understand?
Yeah.
So why can we not get a bill reissued? Say, this one that we sent was an error. Fine, we all admit that. Why can you not trigger to send a new bill that is corrected for me so that when I send the pay stub in that says $56.19 is currently due?
It's not just your bill. Anybody that makes changes to their account and the bill is already sent out, they won't see those changes. Like, they won't actually see that credit until the next bill. You can use the credit on that most current bill, but you won't actually physically see it until the next bill comes out.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it looks like when I sent in the payment for last month, that it looks like they changed it back because it should have been credited. So if I flip over to the other side here, I see the $44.99 is the internet. The $10 is on here. Minus $10. There's a sales tax of 60 cents still. But on the other side, it doesn't add up right.
It says a negative $10, and you see that $10 being forwarded.
Yeah.
So in all reality, that's why I said the only reason why you see it says $56.19 is because we still have the rented modem on your bill.
That and you have the
If we didn't have the rented modem on your bill this month would be the $44.99.
Why is there a rented modem on the bill? I don't have a rented modem. I've never had a rented modem. I will not touch your modems.
Right. That's what we're fixing right now, sir.
And that's why I would like a bill recredited. I would like a new bill sent out that is correct. So when I have my records here, my records reflect what is in reality due. Because it appears as though you're not fixing it from one bill to the next, because last month's bill was not correct. This month's bill is still not correct. You didn't credit off the right amount last time.
They never took off the rented modem. So that's what it all falls down to, sir. Because they never took it off. I'm going to take it off for you. Don't worry about that. And I will credit you back the 2 months as well.
Okay. You realize this is like, they think the fourth time this has happened in 6 months.
Right, and I do see that back in, November, we also charge you for a rented
November,
modem as
I
well.
got December, I got April. I mean, and the next one's probably going to be in 2 months from now. This is going to happen again. You understand?
Yes.
So why, can you explain to me why this keeps getting added to my account? Is there any logic you see to explain that?
I honestly, no, I cannot give you a logic explanation because we're not the ones that add it to the bill.
Okay,
it's the back department.
who is it?
The back offices that do audits on the bill.
Who is it that adds that?
The back office, like, that do audits.
I think you need a new auditor.
We can't get a hold of them. They do what they do. They look over the account, make sure everything is good.
So
if they see that something is not right, then they'll email the customer and they'll let them know either they won't charge them anymore,
so
or
how do I talk
them incorrectly.
So how do I talk to these guys?
Nobody can talk to them.
So nobody can talk to the guy that every 3 months keeps adding $10 to my bill for no reason.
Honestly, sir, you're not the only one. This happens a lot, especially with own modems.
I know that. Why? I mean, this is the exact issue that Comcast was hit with a major fine from the FCC. Not even. I mean, I think it's right about a year ago. Why is this not fixed?
It's just the people that do audits. I mean, I can't explain it.
Yeah, I still think you need an auditor. Okay. So why can I not get a new bill reissued to me?
Because once a bill is already out, the changes that are made are on the next bill.
So I have to keep a bill around that is incorrect. See, like every other company I've ever dealt with.
Was that a question?
Yeah, it was. Because every other company I've ever dealt with, if there's an error on the bill, they will reissue me a new bill that say, "Oh, we made a mistake. This is the correct one."
I understand, but we're not at all the other companies.
Okay, all right. So you are going to credit the bill for $11.20. Is that correct?
Changed, any credits, whatever the case may be, all of that will be on your next month's bill.
Okay, so you're going to credit $11.20. Is that correct?
Well, give me 1 second while I remove this rented modem on your account.
Okay.
This got added on the 21st of April, so that's what I'll backdate it to, okay?
Why? Okay.
So then, as well as that $10 that you already got, you'll get another one for May's bill, and then another one just pretty much just because.
Okay, so you're crediting $11.20 is the amount that needs credited right now.
No, it's the $10 for April and the $10 for May. So that's what?
No, right now my bill says $56.19. I really only owe you $44.99. That should be $11.20, which is, they've already credited $10 last month, right? But they did not credit me the 60 cents.
You still had the internet fee on there. So in all reality, it wasn't like that you got a credit for $10. So I credited back for April and May. So it's $21.60 of a credit that you should get.
Okay. All right.
And I changed it to an own modem.
Okay.
And I will put this note in here. Like I said, there's already other notes.
Can you put like 100 of them in a row?
They don't look over the notes.
What?
They just look at the equipment. They look at the services. They look at all of that.
What?
That's what I'm saying. Because there's a note in here from November about them adding the modem, and then there's another note in here in December saying that it was your own modem.
Yeah.
So we have proof right here that you have your own modem. It's not us that's doing it.
So
it's the back office.
Yeah. Okay. How do we alert the back office to this? There's the ultimate question.
You can't.
So some back office, nebulous back office, just keeps adding this stuff. Like, hey, here's a good account. Let's do this.
Yes, like I said, you're not the only customer that it's happened to. You're not. It's happened a lot. And people, they've been getting it for years. This one lady had it for she kept her receipt because every so often we'll make an audit and it'll say that she has a rented modem. So she kept her receipt just because of that. Like, it's not us. It's the audit people. They do that. I don't know why. We can't talk to them. We can't tell them to look at the notes and, make sure that they look everything to make sure that everything that they see is correct. We can't do that.
Sure.
It's just them.
Okay. Can you tell me this? Like I said, I had received 3 of these letters. One of them is dated April 28th. The other 2, I know they came in 2016. Can you tell me what the dates of those other 2 letters were? I mean, I have the serial numbers up here for the date for them, but there's actually no dates on these numbers.
The first one I see is on 11/08 of 2016. And then I see one on 3/10, 2017, and 4/21.
Okay. So that was the date they were added, so presumably a week later is when the notice got sent out. Okay. All right. So I think we got that squared away then. So we got the accounts credited, and then we got the own modem added back on. Okay. All right. I think that is everything I need today. So then I'm just going to write. What is the amount I'm writing you a check for this month? I don't have no clue.
5619. I mean, just subtract the 21. I'm writing that note for you.
So it's you're taking off.
I was gonna say, if you can wait, that's fine too.
Yeah. So you said you're taking off what 2120 is what you said?
2120.
Okay. So then 5619 minus the 2120.
Anything else I can help you with today?
I think that is everything. Thank you very much. You've been most helpful today.
You're very much welcome. You have a nice rest of your night, okay?
Thank you. You do the same. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So there you have it. According to Comcast, according to their agent in the call that we just heard, they cannot reissue a bill that is undisputedly incorrect. And it seems to me that even though I had called them as soon as I had received the last bill, and they had the points in error, when they should have had it corrected so that when I received the next bill, it should have had the correct amount, because it should have already been credited, because it's another month before the next bill comes out. But they cannot reissue a bill, and so I suspect what happened is when I sent in the little stub on the bill that says how much the account owes, that it was different than the amount of check, and I just imagine they just flipped it back. That's why I really want a bill, because I don't go online to all of these accounts and download a copy. I want them to mail me a paper copy, and I will mail them a paper check. That's it. But they cannot reissue a corrected bill, and it's apparent that what they're doing to resolve it is not resolved. But it also seems as that it's not, she said many times, it's not us doing it. It's a backroom auditor. Who is this nebulous backroom person that just keeps adding, like, this is 4 times since November that these guys have added a $10 a month fee for a modem rental that I do not have. And for the fun dates and the articles I referenced in here, it was in February 2016, which is almost 18 months ago from now. I mean, I'm June 16, so what is that? 16 months. So 16 months ago, people were questioning this. Senators were questioning Comcast, among other companies, but primarily Comcast / Xfinity, as to why they continued to charge people rentals. It was, and that was, by the way, nearing the end of a 5-year probe as to what was going on. It was October 2016, so that is, 8 months ago approximately, October 2016, that they are hit with what was at the time the largest consumer fine from the FCC. That was $2.3 million, while simultaneously Comcast makes $1.2 billion on modem rentals alone. Those are the fun facts. Okay, so this company that had 2016, they had a revenue of $80.4 billion. They get hit with a $2.3 million fine. That is, I mean, I didn't do the math right away, but I mean, 1 billion would be, you know, almost 1%, and this is 2/1000ths of that. So this is 2/1000ths of 1% of their business is what their fine was for continuously adding $10 a month onto people's bill. And this is, and I'm having this issue. Guess when it started for me? It started for me after they had this issue. Of course, they said that they paid the fine, quote, without admitting guilt. Why do all these companies keep without admitting guilt? But there is some nebulous back-end auditor that the account reps can't talk to. They don't look at the notes. The customers can't talk to him. Who is this guy that keeps looking at my account and every 2 or 3 months keeps on trying to add a $10 a month rental fee onto my bill? And then I have to spend my time calling them up. Now, legal precedent kind of says that the amount of time that I am calling them up isn't going to help. I may or may not actually be able to recoup that lost time, but it's a lot at this point in time. You can envision, I've had about a 30-minute conversation with them every single time this has happened for constantly what is their error. And frankly, I have no idea why a computer-based company can make this type of error, because you can look at the MAC address. If you look at the MAC address for an item, which every modem on their system, they will have that MAC address. The MAC address will tell you who is the owner of the manufacturer of that product. The first few digits tells you the manufacturer. Why is it that they keep on insisting that my Motorola from 12 years ago is a rented modem? They should have a very simple algorithm that determines that based solely on the MAC address linked to the account alone. Why is it that, as this rep said, in November it was added? In December, there was a note back, switching it back to my account. In March, they did it again, and I switched it back. In April, they did it again, and I switched it back. Why is it I have to keep calling them? But I think what's going to go on here, and what is going on here, is that more and more people are signing up for paperless bills, and a large there is a percentage of people, when the paper bill comes, they don't even look at it. They just throw it away. Oh, Comcast bill, throw it away. But then as the bills go paperless, they don't email you a copy of the bill on your email that makes it easy to look at. They email you an alert that your bill is ready. You have to log into the account. Well, if you have to log into the account to get the bill, it adds this barrier that a large percentage of people will never look at their bill. But then it goes on that more and more people are being encouraged to add auto payment. So you store a credit card, you put it up there, you auto pay it, and you don't even look at it. And then what's even sadder is that most people, even on a paper statement, most people do not read and audit their paper statement. But again, when you take the credit card bill, you put that on the paperless bill, then you definitely don't look at it. So what they are banking on is being able to add tons and tons of these modem rental fees, and they're banking on the people who will not look at their bill, auto pay, and say nothing about it. And by the way, at the bottom of the bill, it actually states that you have 120 days from the date of this bill. Let me do this because I don't have my date blanked out on this one. You have 120 days from the date of this bill to dispute any charges. Well, that means that if 3 months goes by and I didn't notice it, they don't have any obligation to pay me back. Comcast, you mess with the wrong guy, because I do things intentionally, and I do audit my bills, and I do audit my checks, and you will not get a credit card from me. You will not get auto payment. You will get a check mailed out every single month, and that bill that you had sent me had better be right. Tell your back-end auditor to start reading his notes. When will this happen again? Well, if history tells me it's going to happen again, let's see, it's June. It's going to happen July or August. I'm going to get another one of those letters in my mailbox, and then the following bill is going to have $10 credited back to it. So that's what I predict it's going to happen again. What is the recourse to this? I mean, can I take Comcast to court and sue them over my lost hours for the amount of time that I've had to spend on their phone with their reps correcting this? And the sadder reality is that this agent will probably get fired over this. She shouldn't, because this is a person who is a deep, deep credit to the company. This agent was a phenomenal agent and did what she could do, but she apparently is deeply frustrated because her hands are tied to whoever these back office people are that nobody can talk to, that keep on nebulously adding $10 a month onto my bill for a modem that I've owned for 12 years. Comcast, when's this going to stop? Senators, what is the result of your 5-year probe into why they're doing this? When are you going to fine them enough money where it hurts, not 0.2% of their annual profit? What are you doing? What are you doing? Regulate this company out of existence. Someone will come up who is competent. Because I don't have a choice. This is the only company I can have is an internet provider, and I do not want them. Fix it. Fix it. This video is my recourse. This is what I can do to the debate, because I'm not going to make any headway if I try and file a small claims suit. It's apparent that my calling is not fixing the problem. It's apparent that they are not interested in correcting the bill. It's apparent they're not looking. Like she said, there's like, what is it, 4 or 5 times in there is when this has been added that they keep on saying that, yeah, this person owns their own modem. What is going on? Comcast, what is going on? Senators, why is this not resolved? Congressmen, why are you not looking at this? Ajit Pai, why are you taking money from this industry to do their will? You expect this company to self-regulate itself in net neutrality? You expect this company to self-regulate itself in customer service? And my message to the people listening to this: do not put things on auto payments. Nothing. Because what happens when you do that is you become lazy. You do not become intentional, and you stop looking at your bill. And that is why we look up a couple years later and wonder, why is this credit card statement so high? And then you look back over your statement and you go, oh, for the last 2 years, Comcast has been charging me $10 a month for something I can't do. You can't dispute it. It's right there, printed on your bill. The bill you probably didn't open. 120 days is the amount of time that you have to dispute it. Don't put stuff on auto pay. Paperless statements, if you do insist on paperless statements, force yourself to take the time the day you get the email and go download it to make sure it's right. Because I just think they just keep on adding $10 to tons and tons of people's statements and auto-billing their credit card, and nobody's for the wiser for it. $1.2 billion is their annual revenue on modem rentals. Their huge fine was 2 1,000ths of that. 2 1,000ths of their annual profit. That's why they don't have any interest in stopping. There it is. I hope this rep doesn't get fired. She's a credit to the company, but chances are they're like, you shouldn't have said all this stuff, especially when he said he was recording the call. I mean, if I didn't tell them up front I was recording the call, I couldn't do this video legally. I mean, I'll do it with scammers because they're already calling me illegally. Legally recorded phone call. This is the only recourse I have. I don't usually ask you to do this, to spread a message far and wide, but I want this message spread far and wide. And that's actually why I've edited this video, so it doesn't contain a lot of the links back. You know, you can find me. I'm at Switch to Linux on a YouTube channel. You can find me there. I have ways so you can help support what I'm doing, whatever else. I'm leaving all that off of this video simply to get the message out that Comcast has lost their ever-loving mind. Thank you.